Director, Human Resource, did I hear correctly? Is that Director?
Senior Director, Human Resources.
Director, what's your nationality?
I'm classified as a colored South African.
A colored South African. Now, to the both of you, out of 1,893 total, there are only 7 colored South Africans employed. What is the reason for this?
Well, our employment equity plan works on the basis of natural attrition. So it's not working on the basis that we basically get rid of people in order to get the representation figures right. It works on the basis of natural attrition, and you will know natural attrition, especially in a South African university sector, where our turnover is something like 2.7%. You just don't get the opportunity to very robustly and aggressively increase the numbers where they may be lacking. That's the situation.
Are you saying that that's the reason why you only have 7 coloreds out of 1,893 total staff?
The principle we work on is natural attrition. Our other aspect is how do we attract people to apply for positions at our university. We have a number of impediments. The most significant one, to my observation, is the location of our
Okay, let me put it to you this way. Natural attrition. Let me put it to you this way. Foreign nationals, not permanent residents, foreign nationals are 10 in total. 10 foreign nationals, which the law says you should not employ unless it is a scarce skill. It's not permanent residents. I don't have time, but this would be my last question. It has to be. There's 10 foreign nationals. They are more than coloreds in total at the university.
Agreed.
How does your reason justify that?
Okay, because that category of employee is based on a contract. They're not permanent employees.
Are you listening to yourself now?
Yes, I am listening to myself.
You have 7 colored South Africans in total. You have on contract, it's still employment. Somebody's going home with money. You have 10 foreign nationals, more than colored South Africans born here. Foreign nationals, based on the conversation we're having here, there's permanent residents, there's naturalized citizens. Now you have foreign nationals that doesn't have permanent residence. They don't have naturalized citizenship. You have more of them employed at the university and less colored South Africans born here. How do you justify that? Do you understand what I'm saying? Colored South Africans are being marginalized in this country. There is no justification. I overlook the whole permanent resident thing. I overlook the whole naturalized citizen thing. You cannot explain away now where the law says you cannot employ a foreign national, whether on contract, casual, or whatever. And what you guys are doing, you take 7 colored South Africans that are born here. You take 10 foreign nationals, and that's supposed to be okay?
Can I respond?
Is that okay?
No, it's not okay, and I'll tell you why it's not okay. Can I?
Please.
So, you know, we've spoken earlier about the whole issue of contextualizing issues. So I think the better question or the better evidence to give you is in terms of how many coloreds have applied for particular positions at the university. And I think against that background, we can then talk about whether employing only 7 is correct or not.
I'm going to close with this. And I'm going to close with this. My time is up, but I must tell you, I'm extremely disappointed. Because you're choosing to justify this. You are basically saying more foreign national supplies than coloreds. Your stat says, your stat says,
I'm saying that.
it's impossible.
I will show you the statistics anytime.
And I'm going to challenge that officially. There are hundreds of colored South Africans looking for jobs in this country. And for you to employ more foreign nationals and the law doesn't allow you to do so, and you are justifying it, and you from the race group, I'm extremely disappointed.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, Honorable Sauls. Just close the mic there. Ma'am, you know do you guys have what is the transformation policy there? What does it say?
Basically have an EE plan, which was reviewed last year. And the EE plan has got our targets against the national statistics, as well as the provincial, Gauteng provincial statistics.
What does it say about colored Indians and whites being employed there?
So it's a percentage, I don't have it offhand, but it's a percentage of what the statistics say we should have. And it will then also indicate to you how much is the shortfall or the deficit in each category.
And it will tell you, so you are currently have a shortfall.
We definitely have a shortfall in the colored,
And
we have a shortfall in the Indian, and we have a shortfall in the white category.
And when you advertise, they don't apply. What do you do?
Okay. So what we have, what we indicate.
So you advertise. You've got targets, right, at the back of your head. But my target is to have 20 colors in total, 13 females, 7 males. That's your target. Currently, we've got 7. 4 males, 3 females. So you need 10 females. We advertise for 100 positions. They don't apply. What do you do? Because if you continue the process, then you're not going to reach your target. That's where the question comes from. What have you done to make sure that you reach your EE targets as far as that is concerned?
Absolutely correctly, Chairperson. As I said, our EE plan with the reviewed one was just last year, November, at the council meeting in November, it was approved. And we're moving from, in our adverts, talking about affirmative action to asking for specific naming of the representation group that we're looking for. So that is going to be the move in relation to our adverts.
Okay, it's fine. We are not answering us because you are not reaching your targets. Whatever that you are saying you are doing is not yielding results. It's what Einstein talks about insanity. Doing same thing over and over again and expecting different results because you are not reaching your targets. And the answer you are giving me is that you've got it all worked out, and I don't think City, but it's okay. We will, like I said, we are going to have a second bite with yourself. Honorable Khabo, is that a point of order?
Yes, Chairperson.
What is the point of order?
When you say to the member that they are not achieving their targets, it should be properly stated. They are intentionally marginalizing colored South Africans.
Okay, thank you, Honorable. Thank you. Honorable Sauls.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Honorable Minister, I think I'm going to start by saying that so that people don't think I'm a MK member. What I'm wearing, I'm actually wearing a design by a local businessman in Rustenburg, Mr. Ramafoko. Ramafoko, and he owns the business called Three Rams. I'm also drinking out of the cup that his business makes. And the reason why is because, Minister, I want to reassure you of my intention. I'm not trying to score any points. I'm here because the chairpersons that you appoint affects businesses of black South Africans, colored South Africans, Indian South Africans, white South African young people. And so it's very imperative that we do this process right. So that is my motivation, just so that you know. Secondly, you have spent a lot of time dealing with the constitutionalism around the appointment of those that are politically associated, that it's not illegal to do that. I want to reassure you that I agree with you. It's not illegal, so it can be done. Then also, the qualifications of the appointees or the previous appointees. You have shown that they are qualified. And so that part of the process of not depriving people based on their political affiliation, the qualifications, that part of the process clearly seems to be perfect and above reproach. My question to you is, are you 100% sure the entire process of appointing CETA chairpersons was perfect and above reproach? Beyond, above, same thing.
Thank you so much, Honorable Soul. That's what I can say. One did not anticipate the outcry from the society, to be honest, because what I sticked on is the criteria and the application of the act. That's what the mandate that I gave to the independent panel that was overseeing the process. So after seeing that or observing that there is an outcry, as a responsible citizen, as a public representative, I had to act and respond to their outcries. That's why now, when we reopen the process, we are going to take all those issues that they've raised into consideration. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Are you aware that Government Gazette number 34249 of the 26th of April 2011, regulations for matters relating to the accounting authority of CETA, uses the word independent chairperson in interpreting Section 11 of the Act? Are you aware?
To be honest, I haven't looked at the Government Gazette of 2016.
I have.
I have to be honest here.
I have, and I put it to you for the sake of progress.
2016, not this one. I would love to get the copy so that
Okay,
yes.
I put it to you that said regulation speaks of independent chairpersons. What is your understanding of independent chairpersons? Just off the cuff.
When I think of the word independent, it is quite broad. Depends on which angle are you going to approach it. I'm not sure whether the angle that I'm going to use is it going to achieve your expectations. For me, the independent part of it is to say the person has to exercise his or her fiduciary duties with distinction. There should be no conflict of interest. The person must be guided and adhere to the constitutional obligations as well as the Skills Development Act. Thank you.
For the record, is every single person on that previous list independent based on your definition?
Because in terms of be it a person is implicated or is allegation or was arrested or has a criminal record, my determination was based on the vetting report that I received. So it made me to be comfortable that indeed the process is independent, because amongst the measures that I said I'm going to put as the minister is to sign a service level agreement with those chairs and to indicate that they must not do any business within the sector.
The process might have been independent. I'm asking, are you, based on your definition of independent chairperson, are you 100% sure that every single person on that previous list of appointees are independent chairpersons based on your definition, not mine?
Yes, for me, I could safely say they were, because they are no longer there, they were independent, as they knew that amongst the issues that we would commit or sign with them is to say they are not going to do any business within the sector.
Are you sure?
Can't be sure, but we have measures that we have put in place
So you're
to
not
assess. We have measures that we have put in place to make sure that they do comply with the service level agreement.
Honourable Minister,
they do comply.
With respect, you said you can't be sure. Are you saying that you're not sure? You started your response by saying, I can't be sure, close quote. Are you saying that you are not sure?
Basically, what I'm saying, in terms of the reports that I received, I was comfortable and confident that the process was beyond reproach and those chairpersons are independent. You know, sometimes you appoint a person and the person meets the criteria. You wouldn't know what a person is capable of. Then what helps you is to put measures in place, internal measures, to make sure that no one contravenes with any legislation and a person also signs a declaration of interest. So that's what I covered myself with. I don't know what is it that they could do beyond that, because I can't put my head on the rock and say I'm 100% sure that they wouldn't.
In your definition, you mentioned one of the items that you mentioned was conflict of interest. That is not something for future. It's something that you predetermine to the point of consideration.
Yeah,
So then when you say independent in that sense, you are saying, just on that point, you are saying at the point of appointing them, you are sure they are independent as it relates to conflict of interest.
Yes.
So you are 100% sure that they are independent.
Yes, but beyond that, I wouldn't.
All right. You are sure. All right. Do you still maintain that the entire process was beyond reproach and perfect?
In terms of legislative imperative,
Independent
it
chairperson.
complied with each and every piece of legislation and requirements by regulation.
Okay.
But then, additionally, it's my responsibility as a public representative to listen to what people are saying. When they say the recommended list is politically bloated, I had to respond. That's the only matter that made me to then say I want to review the process.
Okay. I just put to you another element to consider, which is the independence of the chairperson. Okay. The second one is, are you aware of the insertion of section 11 capital letter A and section 11 capital letter B in the Skills Development Act? Are you aware? Are you aware?
Yeah, yes, section 11(1)(a).
Capital A. The insertion, the Principal Act only has section 11, subsection A, B, etc. Then the amendment added the insertion of 11 capital A, 11 capital B. Are you aware?
Yes, I'm aware, but I don't have a copy, unfortunately, now, because with my presentation, I only focused on section 11,
That's
1A,
okay.
yes.
This section,
where's-
the section that we are referring to is called the eligibility section. The eligibility section demands of the candidates to have specific character qualities.
where's the A? Okay.
You can trust me, Honorable
Sorry, I want
Minister.
to open. I know, I must sit.
That's okay, but you can, it's
Wait,
just I'm worried
capital A.
about my time, but you can trust me. The eligibility clause deals specifically with character qualities now, not just education, not just political affiliation, but character qualities. It calls for people found to be involved in theft, fraud, even acts of dishonesty. The word dishonesty is even there. To be disqualified from appointment. Is there anyone on the previous list of appointees who has been charged with or officially said to have been involved in acts of dishonesty like bribery or any form of corruption?
As I indicated, Honorable Soul, I only relied on the vetting report. I did not interview each and every person that was recommended because it's beyond my obligation. So I rely on an independent vetting company to actually provide
Honourable
those
Minister.
services on behalf of the department.
Honourable Minister, you are the one throughout the meeting who wanted to make us understand it is you who appoints.
Yes.
Then you wanted to make us understand, because it's not just in your individual capacity, you are not as an individual capable of doing all of that yourself. You have then a voluntary panel that assists you. And this makes us understand that you will now make sure of all these questionable things. So you cannot now say that you don't know, you just take the vetting report and then you gave me the impression. That's why I'm not asking about the secret panel. Because for me it's like, well, if it helps you to get to the detail, if that panel helps you to get to the detail, then it's great. Then you should know whether someone as part of that list has been charged or not.
Should I come?
Yes, please, Minister.
Yes. I think maybe, Honorable Soul, you are referring to 11A on eligibility D. Is it? I'm going to make a reference. Unfortunately, the majority of them I don't know. I only know one person. Not that I got that from the vetting report because the person was cleared. I had to make a follow-up from the vetting team that was giving me the report to say this is a report, Minister, to say, so did it clear? One of the people that were recommended is Mr. Mike Mabuyakulu, because I'm from KZN and I know him, that he was once arrested, charged for some criminal activities, as much as I do not know the details. And then what I picked up from that report, because I saw it, is that the case was closed and he was cleared. So he's the only person that I know of. Not through the report, it's because I know, hence I'm from KwaZulu-Natal.
And you don't feel that that's reason to question eligibility?
I think this one is more technical in terms of legal terms, because my understanding is that if somebody has been cleared, he has been cleared by the court of law. So who am I to then argue or challenge the court of law to say this person has been cleared, you know.
I'm not saying specifically the individual. I'm testing your
I
disposition.
want to speak about this, something that I know. I don't want
Yes,
to generalize,
but-
because I know that one.
but I'm trying-
Others, unfortunately, if they do have
Honourable
some
Minister,
issues, I don't know.
I'm trying to decipher your posture
Yeah.
in assessment, not necessarily the individual that has been cleared.
Yeah.
I'm trying to your posture when you look at a situation. Do you say, oh, cleared, tick? You don't look deeper into what 11A and B requires. To say, look deeper into the character qualities of these chairpersons you can appoint. The law wants you to do that, not just cleared.
No,
Is it true? Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
No, I must take your note. It is assisting us, hence we have reopened the process, maybe to also dig deeper and also cover the aspects that you are raising. It's helping, in fact, it is empowering us as the ministry.
You have just indirectly conceded that you're now spotting some flaws.
Yes, because of the issue that you are raising to
All
reflect
right.
on 11A,
All right, so I'll leave it there.
capital letter A to F. Yes.
All right, I'll leave it there
Yes.
and continue. For clarity, you said that the reason there was unequal race appointments was because 0 colored South Africans, 0 Indian South Africans, and 0 white South Africans was nominated or applied. Is that correct?
It's correct only with the chairs, but with the AAs, we are good. When we bring to the attention of the portfolio committee, the AAs.
So with
you'll
the
see
chairs, nobody.
Yes.
No,
I'm
none of
hoping
those.
this time around all of us are going to go out and encourage them to be nominated, or we are going to go out and ask relevant sectors to nominate them.
All right.
The only person that applied was the chairperson, the previous chairperson of Health and Welfare. Unfortunately, she couldn't meet the criteria, or was nominated, not applied.
All right. On your media statement dated the 16th of May 2025, you commit to the nation that when it comes to preference and equity, you are going to specifically look at race, gender, youth, people with disabilities. You include race, I quote. In the government gazette that you've released calling for the reopening for nominations, you expressly exclude race. You only have gender, youth, and persons with disabilities. What is the reason for not having race in the official government gazette?
Maybe if I can respond to this one is because when I looked at the Constitution, because that one was a gazette, at least that one, the first one was a statement. The Constitution of the Republic of South Africa prohibits unfair discrimination on the grounds of race. So it was not easy for me to just put race on a government gazette. Hence, the Constitution prohibits.
No, for equity, you are saying the Constitution allows you to have preference for equity, to look at racial balance. That's the reason why you have it on the statement that you're talking to South Africans.
Yeah.
It is untrue to say that you are not allowed by law to say race in a government gazette.
When I looked
incorrect,
at,
Honourable Minister.
when I looked at the Constitution, it says it is only a relevant factor in some context, in particular in addressing the imbalances of the past. So
You
when you
said
look
that.
at it and try to interpret
that's what
it,
you said.
when you I'm making an example, white people, you cannot say you are addressing the imbalances of the past.
Okay, colored people.
However, I'm reaching out to various organizations, the colored community, as I've mentioned earlier on, the organized white people organizations, and through the business chamber to say, good people, please try to encourage them to be nominated. I also spoke to Outa as
Honourable
well
Minister,
to say,
I
also
agree with
spoke
you.
to various executives,
Hear my
cabinet
question.
ministers who are here.
Please
to
hear my
say-
question. I agree with you. That call that you are making for all races to come requires you to put the word race in the government gazette. Do you agree?
I have to get a legal opinion. I don't want to say I agree or disagree,
Did you get a
unfortunately.
legal opinion to put the word race in your media statement?
No, I did not.
Yet you put it in your media statement. Why?
I felt I must put it.
You don't feel you must put it in the government gazette?
No, not that we were trying to deprive other races to be part of this process. That's why I'm even saying to you,
Minister.
I'm even reaching out, speaking to various organized races that we have in the country. I'm reaching out to everyone to say,
Minister.
good people, let's try to make sure that this process
I wanna
becomes
implore-
inclusive at the end of the day.
My intention is not to embarrass you. My intention is not to, I said it at the beginning, but I am asking for honesty. I am asking, let's agree and let's take accountability if we've done wrong. We now have a second opportunity to correct this. You have not excluded race because you want to. You are now positioning yourself to the nation as 1 minute I want to add race, the next I don't want to. I need a legal opinion. So what I'm imploring you to do, Honourable Minister, what I'm imploring you to do, take accountability. Say there's race in your media statement and you meant it because you want to include all races.
Yeah.
And you accept accountability that the word race is excluded in the official government gazette, and you will fix it.
I will do, Honorable Soul.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Based on that concession, would you now agree that the entire process was not perfect and above reproach, based on your concessions now?
No, these concessions does not invalidate the process, because what guides the minister in terms of appointing AAs is the Skills Development Act.
Okay, so I conclude.
So I followed all the requirements as made in the Skills Development
Okay,
Act.
so I conclude.
However, I am going to consider the issues that you have raised here. I
Okay.
am going to speak to my team to also remove the gazette that we have advertised yesterday and put this one, because we want to make sure that
Yes.
this process becomes inclusive as much as we could.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you
I
so
put it to you, even though that you have admitted to the flaws, and by virtue of the fact that there are flaws that you conceded to, that makes the process not perfect. That makes the process not above reproach. May I just have your focus this one, because I'm concluding.
It is
Honourable.
confusing me.
Yeah.
It's showing me what I spoke on already, Honorable Soul.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Because I'm concluding. And I'd like you to hear this, to say that because of that concession, I put it to you that the process has been flawed. I'm glad that you're committing to fix it. And I want to remind you, Honourable Minister, you're not fixing it for you, you're not fixing it for the panel, not for me. You're fixing it for young black businessmen and women, like 3 Rams, Mr. Ramafoko. I thank you, Chair. Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you.
Honorable Sauls.
Thank you, Chair. CFO, where are you born?
Through you, Chair, I was born in Zimbabwe, in the Midlands province, but I'm a naturalized South African citizen. Thank you.
In your place of birth, would you expect the Zimbabwean government to prioritize jobs for Zimbabweans by birth?
Chair, I don't know if it's fair for me to answer that question. I thought probably I'm conflicted. I do not to answer you, but I thought maybe that question would have been directed.
Why would you
elsewhere.
be conflicted? You are born in Zimbabwe. I'm sure you are proud to be born in Zimbabwe.
I'm naturalized as a South African, Chair.
But you are born in Zimbabwe.
Yes.
And as someone born in Zimbabwe, would you expect the government in Zimbabwe to ensure that Zimbabwean citizens by birth are prioritized for jobs? That's not a conflicting question. What do you think, honestly?
I'm not sure if I should answer the question because I feel I'm conflicted, Chairperson. But obviously, I think
Maybe
every
see,
country-
for what you
ev-
should do,
every
calculate
country
it this
has
way.
its own- Yeah.
Let me understand the conflicting element there. Why are you conflicted?
Can you repeat yourself, Honorable?
Why are you conflicted?
No, because I'm the subject matter. I did not employ myself. I was
Okay.
employed by somebody else. And I would expect that maybe those who employed me would have a better response than I would have. Zimbabwe has got its own rules in terms of employment. South Africa has got its own rules in terms of employment. They've got different priorities. Chairperson, I should indicate that I've been a resident, a citizen of South Africa for close more than 20 years now. My children were born in South Africa, and I'm a South African. Thank you.
Okay, let's change the subject matter. Someone born, not yourself. You're changing the subject matter. Someone born in Zimbabwe, other than yourself. Is it correct for him or her to feel that the Zimbabwean government must prioritize them, not you, them, for jobs in their country?
It depends on their circumstances. If they have grown up, worked the entire life of themselves, whether they were born in the DRC, and they worked the entire life in Zimbabwe, or
Sorry.
their children were born there.
CFO, now you're changing the subject matter. That's wrong. What you're doing now is wrong. I indulged you. I changed the subject matter upon your request. Now let's talk about based on the question. Please answer the question. Is it correct for not you, a Zimbabwean that is in Zimbabwe now? Is it correct for that Zimbabwean to expect the government of Zimbabwe to prioritize jobs for them?
Zimbabweans.
Yes.
It's correct. It's correct. It's correct for the Zimbabwean government to prioritize jobs for Zimbabweans. It's correct.
Do you consider yourself South African or Zimbabwean?
Should I consider myself to be South African? I travel on a South African passport. Thank you.
You're no longer Zimbabwean.
The Zimbabwean constitution does allow for dual citizenship, so does South African. So I still hold my Zimbabwean ID. That's correct.
So are you still Zimbabwean?
Yes, I'm Zimbabwean by birth.
So why do you say you are no longer you South African?
I said I'm South African because
you should say-
I've paid allegiance to South Africa when I naturalized as a South African. All my children were born here except for one. They have studied here, so I consider myself to be South African. All my adult life, my working life, was spent in South Africa.
What you should say, CFO, is that I am Zimbabwean, because it sounds like you are denying that you're Zimbabwean. You must be proud to say I am Zimbabwean, and I'm a naturalized citizen of South Africa. As such, I'm Zimbabwean and hold dual citizenship in South Africa and Zimbabwe. But I am Zimbabwean. Because Zimbabweans are watching you. And are you now saying you are no longer Zimbabwean? You must be proud. You must say I'm Zimbabwean.
Chair, I did not renounce my Zimbabwean citizenship. I'm proud of my dual citizenship of both Zimbabwe and South Africa. I still hold my Zimbabwean ID. I did not renounce it. Zimbabwe allows me also to be a naturalized South African, and I've naturalized as a South African.
Are you allowed to vote?
I'm allowed to vote in both countries. Thank you.
How do you view South African citizens that are saying that jobs that they vote for is occupied by foreign nationals or permanent residents? How do you feel about that?
Honorable Member, I take it that the context is now different. It has moved from my situation to that of foreign nationals and naturalized and permanent residents. Am I getting it correctly?
You're correct.
So you can repeat your question. You're saying the question is, how do I view?
How do you view it? How do you feel? As a naturalized citizen, you consider yourself South African. Now, other South Africans feeling that jobs that they voted for government to prioritize for them as South Africans. Now you must speak. I want to hear, do you have the patriotic South African vibe? Or will the Zimbabwean by birth creep in there somewhere? So as a South African, naturalized citizen, do you think that fellow South Africans is correct in saying that jobs should be prioritized for South African citizens?
I think the answer should be contextualized. I do agree with that sentiment. However, the context is we are a university. When we employ people at a university, we may also, from an internationalization perspective, consider foreign students, which is something that universities must strive to build, and also the international flavor in terms of the employees that they
Okay,
do employ.
I have to interject you just because of time. And we're gonna now deal with contextuality. You say you agree, right? Now we're gonna deal with context. Chairperson of Human Resource in the council, right? That's the committee. Chairperson.
That's correct, Honorable Member.
Chairperson, what's your nationality?
I'm a South African, Honorable Member.
How are you classified? You're dealing with Human Resource. How are you classified?
I'm born South African. If it comes to classification per race, classified as white.
You're white South African. I'm very happy that out of 1,893 total staff, 1,732 is black South Africans. I'm very happy about that. Are you happy that out of 1,893, only 111 is white South Africans?
Honorable Member, I'm happy that the statistics accurately reflect the demographics primarily of the country and that of the region.
So you're happy?
Yes, I am, Honorable Member.
Director, what is your nationality? Director, Human Resource, did I hear correctly? Is that Director?
Senior Director, Human Resources.
Director, what's your nationality?
I'm classified as a colored